Hello everyone, welcome back. Today, we are not talking about rumors, gossip, or fleeting headlines. We are talking about something far quieter, yet far more powerful. Something that was never announced loudly, but recorded clearly. In 2025, the name Taehyung stood firmly within the data itself. Not because of aggressive promotion, but because his influence could not be ignored. There were no grand press conferences. No noisy campaigns demanding attention. Yet the numbers appeared, and the rankings followed. And there, unmistakably, was Taehyung's name. Calm, consistent, and undeniable. That year, Taehyung officially entered the top tier of K-pop idols, with the highest number of individual commercial endorsement deals. This was not a group achievement. It was not the power of a collective brand. It was purely individual, a name standing on its own. Each contract was built around Taehyung as an individual artist, a figure whose value could be measured and trusted. Global companies do not make decisions based on emotion alone. They analyze data, audience response, and long-term loyalty. And across every indicator, Taehyung's name kept appearing, again and again. What made this moment even more striking was how quietly it happened. There were no daily announcements. No aggressive headlines counting each deal. Yet when the data was compiled, each sector targeted a different audience. Each market spoke a different language. But they all recognized the same value. Taehyung does not sell through force. He connects through presence. A single gaze carries meaning. A photograph becomes noise, but as a focal point. This ranking is not about hype. It is about consistency. The kind that survives pauses. The kind that grows even when visibility slows. Taehyung proves that true influence does not fade. It concentrates. Even more notable, this recognition did not depend on constant agency promotion. There was no daily media push. Brands observed reactions. And the response. Each individual contract tells a story of trust, not just popularity. Companies do not sign ambassadors for numbers alone. They sign for emotional resonance. And Taehyung's image accident. It was the result of years of accumulation. A carefully built artistic identity. Intentional choices. A discipline that rarely announces itself, but is always felt. This moment shifts the conversation. It shows that influence does not need to be loud. Sometimes it waits, then appears as fact. In 2025, no crown was placed ceremoniously on his head. Yet his presence was acknowledged with clarity. And clarity speaks louder than any headline. What makes it even more compelling is his selectivity. Taehyung is not everywhere. And because of that, every appearance matters. Brands do not just gain visibility. They gain meaning. Collaborations feel aligned, not rented. Silence builds curiosity. When his name appears beside a brand, it feels like storytelling, not advertising. The impact crosses regions. Asia, Europe, the Americas. Different cultures. This ranking quietly confirms what fans have observed for years. His influence transcends schedules and cycles. Even when activity slows, relevance remains. Even when trends shift, his name stays intact. Stability like this is rare, especially in an industry driven by constant momentum. What we are witnessing is not a temporary peak. It is long-form presence, influence that evolves without erasing its core, value that grows without relying on forced virality. Taehyung's commercial strength mirrors his artistry, controlled, intentional, and deeply human. That is why his brand partnerships never feel transactional. They feel mutual. And perhaps that is the truth behind the numbers. This ranking is not just a list. It reflects how influence can exist without noise, how impact can grow without pressure, and how a single name can carry independent weight. Beyond the data, there is something even more powerful: the response. Fans do not simply acknowledge these partnerships. They embrace them. They recognize when a collaboration feels genuine, when it reflects the artist rather than diminishes him. That connection turns visibility into loyalty, and loyalty into sustainable value. In the end, this is not about how many deals exist. It is about how deep the influence runs. And that is where Taehyung stands. quiet, consistent, and unmistakably above the rest. The story does not end here. It is only becoming more compelling.